Okay. How about now? We getting sound? Guys, let me know if you can hear me now, because it was fine here, but I can't tell what you guys are hearing. Let me know now. Let's see. Okay, I just changed it in the settings. I wouldn't. Okay, I guess we're good. Okay, sorry about that, folks. This is the first time I've tried this setup. I'm using my DSLR camera, and I guess when I came in to StreamYard, I needed to reset up the mic. So I guess we're good. Okay, thanks, folks, for letting me know. So we'll start over again. So you can follow the show notes by going to my website, mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, and click on today's date, and you'll get the same show notes that I'm following. So we got audio. Good. Didn't take me as long as usual to figure that one out, right? So you guys let me know how it looks, because this is the very first time I've ever used a DSLR, and I'm hoping it looks better, but I don't know for sure, and I didn't have time to do a whole lot of testing. But once I had it working, I said, okay, we'll go with it and see how it goes. So you guys let me know how everything looks. And Mike is out there somewhere, so hopefully he'll be joining us soon. He did indicate he'll be joining us at some point tonight. So I know everybody appreciate that. Appreciate you all letting me know. So, all right, so now I'm going to go on to the first story. And last week, I reported that the Boeing Starliner was going up to the International Space Station for the first time, because when they tried 2 years ago, they had a problem. And it seems like they had a glitch, but it did get to the space station. And I said they'd be back in about a week, and they come back, I believe, yesterday. So let's go take a quick look at that story. And it's a short story. And this was on space.com. And now it was published 2 days ago. So they got back to Earth the day before yesterday. So let me put it into reader views, get rid of some of these ads. Okay. Boeing's new astronaut taxi has landed safely back on Earth, wrapping up its long-anticipated and crucial demonstration mission to the International Space Station. The Starliner capsule landed at White Sands Space Harbor, part of the U.S. Army's White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. That was on 2 days ago, May 25th at 6:49 p.m. Eastern. The touchdown brought Boeing's uncrewed orbital test flight 2 to a successful end. So they sent up a dummy, but no crew. So I think the idea is to get a crew on there by the end of the year. So should be later on in the story. Starliner lifted off atop the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket on the evening of May 19th and arrived at the International Space Station about 24 hours later. That was a huge milestone for Boeing, and one that the aerospace giant had tried to achieve once before. Starliner launched the original in December 2019, but failed to rendezvous with the ISS as planned after suffering a series of software glitches. That previous mission also ended with a touchdown at the White Sands, albeit one that occurred sooner than expected. OFT-2 was Starliner's do-over and a major hurdle to overcome in certifying the vehicle to carry crew. Starliner undocked from the International Space Station today. This is 2 days ago, 2:36 p.m. Eastern. At 6:05 p.m. Eastern, the capsule conducted a 58-second deorbit burn, which slowed its velocity by 285 miles. Starliner detached from its service module a few minutes after the burn wrapped up and began its plunge through Earth's atmosphere at 6:33 p.m., hitting the planet's air about 17 times the speed of sound. I'd love to try that. At 6:44 p.m., At just under 5 miles in altitude, Starliner jettisoned its forward heat shield and deployed two drogue parachutes, slowing the vehicle's descent considerably. An altitude of about, and Eleanor's in here. So, Ren's beat you tonight, Eleanor, but glad that you're here. I'm reporting on Boeing Starliner coming back from the space station. At an altitude of 1.5 miles, the drogue chutes detached and Starliner's three main parachutes deployed, and that's what you see in the picture. Let me show you that picture again. That's what you see in that picture with the three main parachutes. Okay. Okay. It was about 3,000 feet to go. Starliner jettisoned its basal heat shield, exposing its airbags, which soon inflated to absorb the initial impact with the ground. Terra firma touchdowns aren't the traditional norm for American orbital crew capsules. NASA's Apollo spacecraft and SpaceX's Dragon vehicle have both exclusively wrapped up their space missions with ocean splashdowns. NASA's Space Shuttle Orbiter's Spain planes, rather than capsules, were built for runway landings on terra firma. They sometimes came back to Earth at White Sands Space Harbor, which is where this landed. NASA and Boeing identified 4 other potential landing sites leading up to Starliner's return, citing weather as the ultimate deciding factor. One of these alternatives was a different location at White Sands, and the other sites were Arizona, Utah, and California. But Starliner ended up landing exactly where and when it was supposed to, coming down within 0.3 miles of its target, according to Boeing's representatives. Good job. The OFT-2 is now officially a success. Starliner did experience a few hiccups during the mission. For example, 2 of the thrusters of Starliner's service module failed during its orbital insertion burn, which occurred about 30 minutes after launch. A backup thruster quickly compensated for the malfunctions, allowing the mission to continue without incident. So I guess that's where it actually came down. Shortly after that incident, mission team members expressed confidence that the thruster failures would not affect the remainder of the OFT-2. They also stated that determining a root cause would likely have to wait until Starliner's post-flight inspection. So I guess they're figuring that out right now. If those inspections and other analysis go well, NASA could end up certifying Starliner for crewed flight, potentially paving the way for an astronaut-carrying test mission to the International Space Station in the near future. We're getting our crewed test vehicle ready to go by the end of the year, NASA Human Spaceflight Chief Kathy Lutter said in a pre-launch press conference earlier this month. Boeing signed a multi-billion-dollar contract with NASA's Commercial Crew Program in 2014. SpaceX inked a similar deal at the same time and has already launched 4 operational astronaut missions to the International Space Station with its Falcon 9 rocket and Dragon capsule. So they got back. It got back safely. There was nobody on it other than the dummy. But that's a success. So I guess SpaceX will actually have some competition for space station travel from now on. So just wanted to follow up that from last week. Let's stop sharing. Go back here. And you guys let me know how it looks, because this is my first time with this camera, as I've said, and I'm hoping it looks better. You guys let me know if it looks better than it's looked in the past. Didn't get rid of that. Okay. So we're just waiting till Mike comes in. I'm hoping he comes in soon. I'll move on to the next story. Let me share screen again. And this one's about spyware towards Android phones, so I thought it was a good idea. I usually put these type of stories second because I figure more people will have come in Okay, and Mike says he'll be in soon. Okay, that's good to know. So I usually put these in second, figuring that more people will be able to see the story. But since I have a 3-day weekend, I will try to, after the broadcast sometime over the weekend, I'll pull this part of the video out and make a separate post about it, just so people know about it. So this was on Tech Radar, and it says, and this is from 4 days ago. Google warns Android smartphones targeted by dangerous predator spyware. I think they've stopped it in the US, but we'll see as we go through the story. Android users warned over serious security risk. So let's take it into review. Okay, most of the ads are gone. Okay. Android smartphones in a number of countries around the world have been targeted by powerful predator spyware, researchers from Google's threat analysis group, TAG, have warned. The company's recent reports says that the spyware allegedly developed by a commercial entity, a company called Cytrox, headquartered in, I don't know how to say this, Skopje? I'm going to go with Skopje. Skopje, North Macedonia, is capable of recording audio, adding CA certificates, and hiding apps. Cytrox is being distributed via email, with victims receiving a message carrying a one-time link mimicking a URL shortened service. Once clicked, the victim would then be redirected to a domain owned by the attacker that would deliver simple Android spyware called Alien. So, as always, the best thing to do is not click on links from people you don't know. The target endpoint would then be redirected to a legitimate site to minimize suspicion. Alien, which lives inside multiple privileged processors, would then load Predator and receive further commands from the spyware over IPC, such as audio recording. This technique, TAG team says, was seen to be used before against journalists. In this particular case, while specific targets are not known, the researchers have found the spyware to be used at least by government-backed actors in Egypt, Armenia, Greece, Madagascar, Ivory Coast, Serbia, Spain, and Indonesia. So I guess they just buy the software and start using it. The findings have once again placed commercial entities developing legitimate spyware into the limelight. Companies such as the NSO Group have been building powerful malware and selling it to governments around the world. So I guess that's how these governments got a hold of it, claiming their tools assist law enforcement agencies in the fight against terrorism and other threats to national security. So I gather these governments buy it and then they use it for spyware. However, security firms have found these tools to be used numerous times against journalists, political activists, the opposition, whistleblowers, close family members of high-ranking officials, etc. This has prompted privacy and human rights activists to demand its termination, and in some countries it worked. NSO Group and its products, for example, have been banned in the US, so I guess it's not a threat here. Saeed is, this is the journalist. So just wanted you all to be aware of this predator spyware. And I guess if you're in the US, it sounds like it's not a threat to us anymore, but just thought everybody should be aware of it. And we know there's a number of people that watch us outside the US. So just don't be opening links from people in email that you don't know. So stop sharing screen. Let's get rid of that. Okay, we're just waiting for Mike. So a lot more exciting when he's in here than just me, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to go to, this is probably going to be a rather short, it's one of those weeks where there wasn't a whole lot going on as far as phones and that type of thing once again. And we've been having a number of those weeks. Even Jaime Rivera from Pocket Now keeps saying the same thing. All right, so I'm going to go on to the next story. And a disappointing kind of story, but we're kind of used to that from Google. And this one has to do with the Pixel Fold, which we're not going to be seeing anytime soon once again. I just said Pixel Fold pushed back once again. And this I took from Android Authority. Google has reportedly postponed the Pixel Fold again. And let's go to read a few to get rid of the ads. And it's by Hadley Simons. And it's from 2 days ago. Samsung, Huawei, Honor, Oppo, and Vivo have all launched foldable phones in the last couple of years, although most of these brands have restricted their releases to China. Google was expected to join the party last year before rumors suggested the so-called Pixel Fold was delayed. Now, Korean-based outlet The Elec has claimed that the Pixel Fold has been delayed yet again, citing its own sources. More specifically, the outlet claimed that Google planned to launch the device in Q4 2022 before the second apparent delay. If confirmed, this means we'd only see a Google-made Pixel Foldable in 2023 at the earliest. As for a reason for the supposed delay, well, the Elec source had said the postponement was likely down to the Pixel Fold not being as complete as Google wishes. In other words, they weren't ready. There's a lot that can go wrong with a foldable phone, such as the folding screen being fragile, the hinge not working properly, and a huge crease appearing on the main display when unfolded. So we wouldn't be surprised if Google is indeed taking more time to get things right. It doesn't help that foldable phones are also more complex from an internal perspective. I'm sure they are, often necessitating technology like split batteries or cutbacks to the camera category to fit everything inside. The outlet reiterated that the foldable was expected to have a 7.5-inch in-folding main screen with an ultra-thin glass and a 5.78-inch smartphone display. We're guessing that a future Pixel Fold would also offer a new Tensor processor, although we wouldn't hold out for actual fast charging if the Pixel 6 series is anything to go on. So any of us who had any kind of excitement about a Pixel Fold, well, we're probably not going to be getting that real soon. Looks like next year. So that's where that came and went. I keep Mike to come in, so I'll let him in as soon as I see that he's there. Okay. And I had this story about Elon still being committed to Twitter, but I did see a story while I was working today that Twitter has actually decided to sue Elon. So let's see if I can find that story and show it to you guys. Okay. All right. I found it on The Verge, which is good. So let me share that screen before I do the other story. So I guess we're going to be hearing about this Twitter stuff and Elon all summer. It sounds like he's still pretty committed. Okay, so this is on The Verge from today. Twitter shareholder sues Elon Musk for tanking the company's stock. Musk engaged in conduct designed, I guess, to drive Twitter's stock down substantially, plaintiffs say. So I guess they're saying that Elon doesn't want to pay as much, so he's doing things to drive it down. I don't get that impression, but who knows? All right, let's go to read a view. I haven't read this story myself yet, so this is by Russell Brandom from today. A new lawsuit on behalf of Twitter shareholders was filed against Elon Musk in federal district court in San Francisco on Wednesday night, alleging that the Tesla CEO has actively manipulated the company's stock for personal gain. The complaint focuses on Musk's conduct since signing the purchase agreement with Twitter's board on April 25th, particularly his recent statement that the deal cannot move forward without more information about automated accounts on the platform. After signing the agreement, the complaint alleges Musk proceeded to make statements, send tweets, and engage in conduct designed to create doubt about the deal and drive Twitter's stock down substantially in order to create leverage that Musk hoped to use to either back out of the purchase or renegotiate the buyout price, which I gather he is trying to do. But there's nothing unusual here. This is what Elon does. He's always tweeting constantly. So it's certainly not out of character. As detailed herein, Musk's conduct was and continues to be illegal in violation of the California Corporations Code and contrary to the contractual terms he agreed to in the deal. The complaint continues. The lawsuit is a proposed class action brought by a small group of shareholders, but seeking damages that would be distributed among anyone holding the company's stock. Twitter declined to comment on the case. While Musk's behavior is unusual, not for him it isn't, I don't think. Mike says he's still coming in. So, okay, we're still waiting. There has been no clear attempt from the Tesla CEO to cancel or renegotiate the deal. Okay, that's good. Nonetheless, the complaint, but the stock has gone down a lot through all this controversy with the bots. Nonetheless, the complaint's claims are borne out by the unusual behavior of Twitter's stock, which continues to trade significantly below the agreed-upon buyout price. As of press time, Twitter shares were trading below $40, reflecting significant market skepticism that the deal will close at $54.20 as agreed. Notably, the complaint asked for injunctive relief by the court, which could potentially force Musk to purchase Twitter at the agreed-upon price. And I guess they could also stop him from tweeting about it. Uncertainty around Musk's public statements has already had a material impact on the buyout proposal, driving down Tesla's stock to the point that Musk had to abandon plans to secure financing through loans against his holdings in the company. Musk told the Securities and Exchange Commission earlier this week that he will provide an additional $6 billion in equity financing to make up for the expired loans. And that's what our next story is about. So they're suing him. I don't think this is calculated by Elon because this is just typical Elon behavior. So let me stop screen. To me, it's typical Elon behavior anyway. So let's go to the next story that I already had. So that just popped up today. So let me share screen. And this is about the 6 million extra that he's adding. And this was on ZDNet. Elon Musk steps up equity commitment in Twitter bid to $33.5 billion. Okay. Let me stop sharing because Mike is here. Hey.
Hey. First off, do I sound good? Because last time I was on, or last time I did a show, Ted was telling me my Yeti mic was not working properly.
It sounds good. I hear a fan. Am I right?
Yes, you probably hear the fan over here because it's just,
okay,
just enough to be a little uncomfortable.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah, but it tells you your Yeti mic is working very well.
Yeah, it's picking up the fan. I'm blocking it a little bit.
That's okay. No, you sound good, though. You sound just fine.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And
so, hello, everybody. Let me see the comments. Who's here? What's going on?
Ted just popped in. Yo, Ted. Ted can pop in anytime he wants. He's got the link, too. So, if he wants to pop in, he can pop in. Who else was in here? Renz is in here. I guess maybe he's not going to work today because he popped in and then I saw him type something in at the time he's usually on his way to work. Annette's in here. She's been coming in every week, which I appreciate very much. Who else? And you and Ted are, and Eleanor's in here.
Hey,
Ren's
Eleanor.
beat Eleanor for a change. And that's it. And then Ted just came in. So were you able to hear the Musk story I just did?
Yes, I did. I had it playing in the background, listening in, and I haven't been up here with this computer, and this computer gets kind of cranky when you don't like pay attention to it. It's like a dog or a cat, you know. If you don't pay attention to it, it gets a little cranky. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, is this the one you've been working on?
No. That won't come online until I've done everything that I want to do to it.
Okay. You saw my comment on Twitter, right? You're becoming jerry-rigged.
You know, I got. I don't know. It's just something new that I've taken on a little bit. I had my brother's, which really was mine first, and I sold it to him. Pixel 2 XL. That went to my nephew, and then he broke it. He busted up the screen. He busted up the screen to the point where the touch sensitivity is gone. Right. So I'm going to look into getting a new screen. And putting a fresh battery in. My brother likes that phone that much. So yeah, I'm planning on. I didn't want to make a video of me doing anything on the computer. I might once now I know it's functioning. It's worth it. Might make a little video on what I do to it as best I can.
You should probably tell who's watching and didn't see the Twitter stuff or your video today about what you're talking about with the computer.
Well, I've acquired a 2010 mid 2010 MacBook Pro, and it was showing all the signs of different, lag. It was not working properly. Of course, asking somebody, well, what's wrong with it? He goes, I don't know. I can't. It doesn't come on. I get a blue screen, and I do remember one time seeing a blue screen.
Okay.
So I've been contemplating. Well, I need to replace this laptop that I'm presently on. That's providing all the videos for the last 5+ years, maybe going on 6 years now. Okay. And I've been going back and forth. I mean, literally. I almost bought a new one right around Christmas, and I didn't. I said, just let me. And every time I look at a PC, and they were interesting builds. That was the other thing. I was getting into builds. I was getting into finding a Dell Omniplex. Okay, so if you Google Dell Omniplex, and there are different model numbers, they can be easily configured to use a newer hardware, and you can get great performance out of it for what I need. I don't need to play games. Per se, I don't know if I will go in that fancy,
but you might need to edit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's where I'm heading to, is to edit and just do stuff in general. I did all. The other thing that really stands out is anything that's really important. I haven't transitioned to try and use my Chromebook. I probably could do my tax. The biggest thing is I do my taxes every year on this computer. Okay. And the ease of getting a PDF and using all the Microsoft features that come with it, I've become very natural. And then again, I work with a PC every day at work. We'll use Windows Office 365. I mean, we use the full window. They paid for the full window Office suite.
Office 365.
There's Rez there.
Thank you, Renz, as always. There's Renz being kind again, as he always is. Thank you very much, Renz. Anyway, before I forget, both Ted, if you're still watching, and Mike, this is the first time I've ever used a DSLR. How does it
I heard
look?
that. Yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Does it look okay?
Looks great.
I didn't get it framed quite exactly the way I wanted, but I I said, let me try it. It worked. I said,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to go with it. But this is my very first time. So,
Yeah. I saw you had the audio problem in the beginning, but yeah, other
yeah.
than that, you know, it looks good. Yes, it does look good. Um,
And I'm not as
and
on top of the camera as I usually am, which is good, I
mm,
think.
mm, mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, in time you'll come to adjust it. I mean, I noticed diverging here. The camera on this is just a basic 1080p Logi
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
LOGI
And
webcam.
that's
It
what
was
my other one normally is.
yeah, and I felt that started making videos with this. When you see my last
Okay.
bunch of videos here at the desk, here at the table upstairs here,
Right.
this is where I've been using that. I used phones, and I used this. My webcam that I
Oh,
used this when
that's
I
done
started
pretty
the
good
channel.
then.
Yeah. And then thanks to oh my god, I forgot his name. This is embarrassing. Jerome. Jerome gave
Okay.
me the mic
Okay.
as a thank you for helping him with some stuff, and
Cool.
that was like that was a game changer. And then like now with that DSLR, that's going to be huge for you. That's going to
Okay.
be what kind of camera? What get a Canon
No,
or
no. This is a very old DSLR. This was the one I originally started the channel on. This is a T3i,
a who?
a Canon
What model?
T3i.
Oh, it's a Canon. Okay,
Yeah, Canon
but let me
T3i,
tell
the
you,
one that
it's
everybody used to use for their videos 10
mm,
years ago. You know.
yeah. It
So,
looks good though, George. So you were always using what phones to do your videos?
no,
The when you do like unboxings and all.
no. I use a different DSLR on the table.
Mm.
But this one was the original one I used when I first started, and then I switched to a Sony, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what you see me do my videos on. And then I just use this Logitech C920 like you do, just for my broadcast, and I'm
Right,
just trying to
right,
make the quality a little better. Yeah.
right. I got it on a Joby Pod, and then I've used the Joby Pod as a way to wrap it. There's a let's see, can I show you? See the bar? See the bar
Yeah,
there? I don't.
yeah,
You know, being the slant of the roof, the roof is it makes a perfect. And I put that's really black pipe. I think it is. They call it black pipe.
okay,
And I mounted to one of the rafters up there.
okay.
You know, and
Wait.
then
So
the
this is
yeah
where
the
I tell you to pipe down, right? Okay, I couldn't let that go. Okay.
so so anyway, so I was just thrilled to be able to get the computer up. I will
And
say it
running.
is going. And yeah, just the $15 part alone to get it to go on, and I'm like, ooh boy, we're wow,
Cool.
yeah, huge for me. I'm clicking on things and things are not reacting to what I'm so used to.
Right.
It's different. I mean, and
Right.
you've had a Mac, you've had a Mac,
I've had a
a Mac,
MacBook Air, yeah, in
yeah.
the past.
Coming from that to Windows and back again, I would imagine the muscle memory probably it's kicking in. Would do certain things, wouldn't you? To
Yeah. But yeah, now I don't have I did use my MacBook Air when I had it, but I have my iPad Pro now. I did do 5 or 6 videos on my iPad Pro, but I just couldn't get as comfortable as I am on the Windows.
mm,
So I just bought a new
mm-hmm,
Windows laptop. So now of course I have this Windows laptop, which is a Acer with a Razer in it, and
okay,
then I have my Microsoft Surface Pro 8, which I can also edit on and what does just as well. And then I have my iPad Pro, which I can also, all 3 of them are fast as all get out as far
mm-hmm,
as editing. So I'm very happy, but I'm
right.
just too used to the Windows. And of course, the Microsoft 8, I can use Windows too.
And as you know, in the past, I did have iPads in the past and tried to
Right,
do exactly just that, but I couldn't get away of having, I used the pencil as my mouse, and
right.
to try and understand, it just could not get the workflow like I'm so used to here on here, and I would hope on the MacBook that I can do something similar to that.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
the editing.
I can tell you with the MacBook, you should be able to use it pretty much as far as your functional workflow as you do the Windows. Because when I had the MacBook Air, that worked fine for me.
Okay. So, I'm not going to give up this computer that I'm on. It's just something about I was tempted to give it to a friend of mine that has, oh my God, probably a 13-year-old computer. Super chat is broken. Stop. What's this? Why is it broken? Is it Brian? Brian, did you give too much money?
Yeah, Renz just gave me one a few minutes ago, Brian. But I appreciate it. You two are the most consistent and kind guys I got. But as far as I know, it's working. But if you don't send one this week, I can understand it. So, folks, what you should know is that Mike has already fixed his computer, and now he's taking apart a phone. So I guess
I haven't done the phone yet.
Well, I said he's about to. Okay,
yeah, the phone.
I guess
phone
we're going to
next.
see a new channel, and he's going to be as big as Jerry Rick.
Stop! Stop!
I'm just advertising for you.
Yeah. Nah, I did one phone long ago, and dumb me. I don't know what I did. I kind of remember either I didn't hit record or something didn't go right. I was recording a whole bunch the whole time.
When you were doing it and you didn't get it recorded.
I didn't get it. I only got part of it, and I'm like, oh, man. And it was I think it was an S8. I think it was an S8 that had the SIM tray broken in it.
Okay.
And I was so thrilled to get it apart. I did everything what you do. See, and Jerry does, rig everything. I did watch other videos.
So you were able to get it working though.
I got it apart. I couldn't get the broken piece out. So on eBay, I found a new motherboard that was meant for a Verizon. That's what it was, a Verizon branded Verizon phone, and put a new motherboard on it, hoping that it didn't have any kind of. That was the worry. That was the other worry. Not just putting it back together, just that I'm taking a chance on eBay, because I do not trust eBay personally.
And sometimes you do take a chance. That's true.
And I was like, I'm not going to. I forget. I think I made a false account. Like I just made a generic Gmail account just to get the phone going.
Now, and Brian did get it through. So thank you, Brian, as always.
Thank you, Brian. Brian, you know what, Brian, if you want to give a super chat and you live not far from here, like 2 or 3 hours, just come on down, give it to me, and George will be in the neighborhood in a few weeks. I'll make sure he gets it. Okay?
I'll be there 2 weeks from today. Mm-hmm. He said he had to use the iPhone.
iPhone, yeah. See, Android again. But so yeah, I got that to work. My fear was, it was completely clean. It seemed to work fine. I didn't I purposely did not put the person's phone information nor mine in there. I just and I forget, it's one of the, I think I went as far as getting I forget who, I must have gotten a Verizon SIM, just a prepaid line, just to see, so there's no chance of corrupting anything of my stuff, and it worked fine. It didn't seem like it was anything hokey. So yeah, Android failed, but I still love it. Yeah, like I said, look, it's a losing team, but you just can't. There's those losing teams that you just gotta support. I mean, I remember telling it.
A losing team, but
it is.
But Apple is more polished. That's what I would say.
And to Brian's point, I mean, there's been times I admit it's like it just doesn't work as well, or it just seemed clunky, or whatever the case may be, and I pick up the iPhone and whatever I was trying. I know what definitely one thing is to print something that I have to go as far as download it to my account, like a Google Drive, and use my iPhone to print that thing. I can't get Windows to talk to it. I can't get Android to work properly. But my iPhone, using the HP app, boom, I get it printed.
You can't get Windows to talk to your Android phone at all?
I can't get the Windows computer to work properly, to play well with the printer.
Oh, okay, I got you.
With the printer, yeah. But So I don't want to jump in. I don't want to, I don't know what you have. I don't want to, I do have some things I do want to share. I want to share more about my MacBook stuff, but I have another piece of information I want to share with everybody.
Let's go with your stuff. I'm sure it's more interesting. So,
as I'll go. Wait a minute, George. Guess what? Breaking news. Okay.
No, wait a minute.
Breaking news.
I think I can do breaking news for you.
Can you do breaking news right now?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. Breaking news. My son. I can't do this now. That
you didn't think I was so ready, did you?
I know. It was nice and loud, man. I'm awake now. Earlier this week, I reported about the T-Mobile / LG phones having an issue with the LG IMS.
Right.
And first off, I can't say
enough. But it was only LG, right?
It was only LG, and it was only on T-Mobile. Right. And I wanted also more stories pertaining to my son and about the issue, and also LG. I reached out to him pretending I was a PO'd customer. They reached out. I told them what it was. They say, "Hey, look, we're working on it. We're really, they were kind of putting the finger to T-Mobile, saying, it's
but
them."
You did give them credit for getting back to you too.
Oh, wait a minute, and wait, there's more. They reached back to me a day later, and say, "Hey, we haven't heard from you. You okay? Everything fine?" Like, wow,
that's nice.
Wow, awesome. Yeah. You stop making phones now. You care? I'm sorry. I got to be a little cynical about this.
Hopefully you didn't say that.
No, but I did say, thank you for checking.
Okay.
So my son received a text message, and it goes like this: let's get you back on track. Restore LG IMS now by installing device updates. Fix it, and it gives you a link. Mm-hmm. And in the next link is he got like this.
Okay,
and then
that's on T-Mobile. Okay,
yeah, this is T-Mobile. Now, well, this is the thing too. My son's phone was a phone that I got for him. Was a T-Mobile branded phone. It was dirt cheap. Right. It was kind of rough looking, but I knew that doesn't matter to him as long as it works and it has a headphone jack at the time. Right. I think he still prefers headphone jacks. And he threw a case in it, so you couldn't tell it's beat up. You know what I mean? Right. The screen was fine. Right. That's all it counted. So right. and I don't know if you remember LG. LG was trying to do their own thing, like how Samsung has their own app store.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is like I looked at this and I'm like, it took me a minute. Like, I've seen that before. So if you look there, that LG IMS improved. I guess that's the app that he had download, and his reply to me with a thumbs up, and he said update it, and it seems to be working fine. Now he did tell me through this flurry of stuff, he probably went like about 24 hours with that pop-up notice saying that it wasn't working and it stopped. Now, was it working, and did it stop, and did T-Mobile do something just because it's a carrier-branded phone? I don't know. All I know is...
It sounds to me like T-Mobile, either LG changed something in their software or T-Mobile didn't update something when they should, and the two of them work together.
Well, what I understood is were two reports I found from what I feel are reliable sources. Is basically saying was... T-Mobile made a change on the back end to an upgrade or some kind of upgrade, either software or hardware on their end. And this was one of the things we forgot about this part.
And that happens to all programmers, I understand.
Yeah. So with, still there was finger pointing at both as but I get the sense eventually the finger started pointing at more T-Mobile. In the community wise, in people talking about this, it was interesting, and yet too.
I guess it was loud according to Eleanor.
Well, it was, yeah. Don't do it again, George. It's okay. We got the point.
Well, wait. Let's see if I can correct it. How about Is that one any better?
No, that was equally as loud. Okay.
Oh, okay. I
That's
hadn't
all
used
right.
one of them so long I forgot.
Oh man, that was good. But you know what? I don't know what you did. Sometimes you had trouble before. That was great that you're able to pull that off. It was like, it wasn't before the volume was real low and it was kind of great. It looked good.
Okay.
I will say that. You know what? I kind of forgot to let Mom know I'm on. I told her earlier.
Okay.
Look.
So
Sorry,
anyway,
folks,
the story ended up okay, and it sounds like T-Mobile eventually, realized it was them and they fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it. The other problem, and I'm gonna let my tongue a little more looser and I swear to you, I did that video, I did that vlog talking about. Look up George's channel on now. Mom always likes to pop in and say hi.
Yeah.
There was many things that first off I want to just express here. The news reports, if you read some of the reports, they were saying like this was horrible. People can't make calls, and I'm like thinking to myself, no, I find that a little hard to believe that such a program that can have such an effect that you can't make calls, and just the reporting in general of this particular issue. Right. I was able to text my son. Mind you, though, we don't use SMS. I'm using Android Messages, which is using data. It isn't like a cellular thing. Am I right in saying that, George? SMS is using a cellular part. So, people had other options to communicate when I'm getting at it. Yes. And my son's, he would have told me. He would have straight up somehow find a way to get a hold of me and say, Dad, the phone's not working.
Right. So he was able to make calls through this time.
And that's what he said. I mean, he would never, trust me, if it's really broke, he's only down the street now. It's, we'll get this thing resolved.
Okay.
But there were some comments mentioned about, just upgrade your phone. And that's the part that bothered me. There's other people can't afford that. There's people and
it should bother you because, don't just go off the deep end, investigate some solutions.
Right. And, and the thing is, it's we all know, we all have our potentially bad taste for LG pertaining to how the demise of LG Mobile came to be.
Well, I don't see it that way because you're talking about a company that had 24 bad quarters in a row. Mm-hmm. To me, they lasted longer than most would have lasted. I think so. I don't see why people would have a bad taste about it.
No.
How long do you
I'm talking about.
Money?
I'm sorry.
How long does anybody expect the company to lose money? We're talking 24 quarters in a row.
I understand that. I understand that the financial aspect of it, and they were pouring money into it to keep it alive. That's not the thing. I'm talking about the bad taste. Is as everybody knows that this company could have been right up there. They were up there at one time many years ago. Yeah, and they're not there anymore. What I'm getting at is, can you imagine this little problem happen to an iPhone?
Oh,
what would be the conversation? Still get rid of your phone?
It would be a nation, George. It would be a worldwide disaster, and certainly in the United States, a United States disaster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Then is Apple trash? Is iPhone trash? That's what I'm driving at. Don't.
The difference is LG had been failing more and more for a very long time.
Well,
I would think everybody would have expected it. That's my point.
Wait a minute. You know what could have done it, and we discussed it a bajillion times on this very channel, and I think we have the proof of what happens is when you advertise and you do certain things. Google Pixel is a prime example of getting the word out. And
Right.
if when you make a commercial, don't make it so you gotta admit LG's commercials were out there. They were like above people. They couldn't get, you know what I mean? They couldn't get in contact with the customer base. You know,
But you see,
when
we see it very differently because I think their big problem, and their big problem, in my opinion, was stuff all of us techies thought was kind of cool, but the public didn't. You know, the stuff with the
well,
speaker on the phone and all the different cool experiments they did with their phones, and the public wasn't buying it. But we thought it was cool, but it certainly didn't make them any money.
well, I'm.
That's how I see it.
Hmm, I don't know. I don't. I see. You know, people. They didn't communicate what that device could do.
Yeah, well, like
Where,
the modular thing. That was the big one. You know, it was very
oh yeah.
cool, but the
But wait a
public
minute,
doesn't
You
want a
come out with a
modular phone.
modular thing. Wait a minute, you come out with a modular thing, and you don't. Okay. Oh well, this one's not available in this country. Oh, and this one's not available in
Yeah,
and this one's
that
coming.
was a big problem. You're right. You're
You know,
right.
a lot
Yeah,
of good stuff wasn't available here. It
that's
wasn't
true.
able to get it here in the first place. You had to go. Us techies would have imported it, but nobody else is going to want to do that. That should have been a selection in the store, in the carrier
That's
store.
true. I
Buy
agree.
the phone and look at all the options you can add on to this. So you got
Yeah.
another $1. Looks like George from Brian.
Oh yeah.
I guess
Thank you, Brian.
that's the Android phone.
Hey, what are you doing, Brian? Making up for? Oh, this one is on the Android phone. Obviously, he's making sure the Android phone still works.
Yeah,
So,
knows
thank
the
you,
Apple phone
Brian.
gave you 99 cents
Of
more
course, you
too.
can always tell Apple's going to take their penny. You know. So anyway,
But
but
anyway,
you make very valid points there because of stuff being not available in certain, and it was so sporadic.
yeah. Yeah, that was the bigger breaking news. You were talking earlier about the computer. I hope this weekend to decide. Do more research because I'm really I'm super intense on making sure I thoroughly understand every step to do these things. The
Right.
SSD part is putting it in you do it blindfolded now,
I was going to say that's
but
the
it's
easy part.
that's just the easy part. But then, mind you, the SSD is blank. So now I got to
Right.
figure a way to learn how to get the boot up section of it and move it over, or move the whole everything that's off the old drive and what do you call it? Move it over. There's another word. There's another fancy word for it. It starts with, but anyway, to get it, because the computer ain't going to start. The computer's going to look up for a boot file and it's not going to be in there.
Right.
So that
right.
looks
but there,
interesting.
There's a lot of places. Now, of course, I haven't done it in a while, but there's a lot of places you can find on YouTube how to set up a boot up. So I would think.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah, no,
probably
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna
Oh
be
my
much of an
good.
issue.
That's the thing I said too, is that, a lot of my time, I've been really diving deep. It's weird. I was getting into watching and listening, and I still want to get into the Android developers, Android
Brian
migrate.
is saying migrate.
Thank
That's the
you,
word.
thank you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were in my brain. You
Brian's
start with
speaking
an
for
M.
you.
Thank you, Brian. I still need you here. Bring the super chat and be my other half of my brain, please. Where was I talking about? Oh, watching YouTube videos, watching
Right.
Android developer stuff. That was very interesting. And then I got into this, and the amazing thing is, and I don't know if I said it to you or made a comment, but man, that MacBook Pro is something that if somebody's remotely, I want to say mechanically inclined, if they're able to take something apart, do a repair
Right.
on a car, it's the only one I can compare to,
Right.
you could understand how to do these MacBooks, this generation, do that and do a repair on something. The only drawback to doing all this, I mean, granted, I'm doing this for fun, and I really don't know if I'm going to make. I mean, I don't know how far I'm going to go, because what the concern is, and somebody had a really interesting point on a video, is these MacBooks are not supported anymore. Just
Right.
like there's no more security patches. So the thing
Right.
I got to be careful is what websites I go to and how secure they're going to be. Now I'm
That's
assuming
true.
the
That's
app
true.
store that's on the computer is
Mhm.
going to
Update
support
itself.
the app. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
But I mean, you say you're doing it for fun, but at the same time, this is saving you from having to buy a computer. True.
yeah, and then there I revert back to my just last comment is a comment about how safe it is. This is going to buy me time, but and
Okay.
also
Yeah.
too, I didn't. I think the thing I was afraid to pull the trigger on a Mac type computer is understanding. I mean, I went full bore into getting an iPad, and I'm going to do my video editing on there, and in the end, I was like, I'm just not satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm in this computer already, the MacBook. I put Chrome on there, so I'm
Okay.
familiar about Chrome. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I
so
have Chrome in my iPad. That makes sense.
right, right, but it's some familiarity in it, and I want to see if I can make some videos using it,
Right.
and then in time when I feel okay, I think I'm going to like this. I think I'm going to keep this
Okay.
OS.
Right.
Then I'm going to spend the money. Then I'm going to spend. I don't know what. I'm really infatuated with the Mac Mini personally. I like the whole
Right.
idea is that little box
Yeah.
and a big screen
Yep.
and you know what I mean, the minimal part,
And
the
you'll have
portion
the
of it.
M1 chip.
Right, right. Or by then maybe M2. You never know.
Okay.
You know what I
That's
mean? I
true.
might go that, and that's just the thing. I didn't want to spend. I mean, even just the base Mac Mini
Right.
is like $600 or $700. It depends wherever you're shopping. Where you could,
Right.
I found refurbs already.
Yeah.
So,
And you can probably get the refurbs from Apple too on the Apple Store.
oh yes, no, that'll be yes. I already looked, and they are available. But then there's that, and then there's I'm not gonna. I want to do sort of right. I don't want to go cheap on a screen. I want a nice a nice keyboard. And all this stuff adds up. What I'm getting at,
Right.
you know what I
Of
mean?
course it does. Because it's
If I'm
Apple
gonna,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. If I spend $200 tops, and
Yeah.
I'm saying tops, and that's even shooting out maybe even $100. Wait a minute, I could spend about 150 roughly to get this computer going, and and
Okay.
and 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 it's always going to be there. It's always going to have this newer hardware in it and stuff.
Right.
So it's always going to be on. I can always pull it out and use it. So
Right.
that's that.
I
I'm planning
gotta
on.
say, just dealing in iOS Apple at all, $150, that's pretty optimistic in my opinion.
Well, I found an SSD for 500. I think it was 500 gig SSD for like $60
Okay.
on Walmart. Believe it or not, of all
Right.
places. What is it going to cost me? I'm going to probably, and that's the additional cost. I'm going to buy a few tools. I got to look into the
Mhm.
tools. Or these tools? Some of these they have different toolkits on iFixit.
Right. And that's what
Um,
you gotta get. Yeah.
right. I'm throwing that in the cost now. Some of these same tools are they going to be able to use to fix the Pixel? And I could, I got to see
I
what
would think
my
so.
options are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've got to get, and mostly the Pixel is going to be a heat gun and the pick tools, the pry tools, and
Right.
I use my business cards, the last one, but I want to get some iFixit stuff to do that, and then I got to read up on how to do the battery.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
there's the, I throw the tools in part of the expense, and then wherever this thermal paste is going to be, and whatever I need to do that also.
You're talking yourself into another channel. You know that, right?
You know, when I made a determination to try and do a comeback, to come back and do this months ago, I
There's a good question from Brian.
what's that? I
wonder
wonder
how
how
it affects
effective
the
the IP
IP
rating
rating.
would be on the Pixel. I don't think I don't. Darn it, you. Hold on.
There he goes, making you think again, right?
Yeah, you know.
Now you got him
yeah.
looking it up, Brian.
Is there an IP rating on a Pixel 2 XL?
According to Business Insider,
Oh.
IP67 means that the Pixel 2
Okay.
is submerged in up to
I wasn't sure if it was IP rated in the first place.
Okay.
So to answer your question, no. What I've determined in the past is once you crack that baby open, nah, that's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. Now I know you probably can get a seal, I-67, yeah. IP67.
IP67.
Yeah. Or no, yeah, IP67.
Yeah.
I do know. I thought I saw seals and gaskets. No, I don't know about the Pixel, but with the Samsung when I was playing with it, I think I got in that. But I still.
Well, wait a minute. You saw seals, but you didn't see otters. Okay. I couldn't stay away from that.
George, get him out of your system. Get him out your system.
I never
okay?
hold it in. I always look. If I hold it in, I could get sick. I'd rather let it out and let all these people get sick.
I get sick. Man.
Anyway, so have you? I mean, you have, the glue gun and all this stuff, a heat gun and all this stuff in your head. Have you made a list of the stuff you're going to need?
No, I haven't gotten there yet. I want to first really focus. My brother isn't like, my brother isn't saying I need that phone
not
back.
Good.
Sorry, typing while no,
That's
don't
why
stop.
Yeah, don't
Keep on
type.
watching or listening. Keep on not watching, listening. Listening's good. Okay.
So what you say about Adam?
Adam, he ain't asking for the phone back. It isn't like I got to fix it for him tomorrow.
Right.
So I want to put my attentions on the MacBook first and go from there. Now probably he's going to watch the replay and say, "What do you mean you put me behind the MacBook?"
Hey, you're still doing the stuff for free.
He ain't going to use it. That's the thing. He's got a Pixel 5, so I think he wanted to use this phone as a. I think something where it ties in with his Google Assistant somehow.
Okay.
He explained to me briefly, and I don't get it, but I think what I get is it's not going to have a SIM card in it. He's going to use it on the Wi-Fi and do different things
Okay.
to
Cool.
control things in his house.
That's cool.
So
And with Google, the thing with Google Assistant, I mean, Eleanor turns lights on and off at her house with Amazon and Google, and I turn all the lights on and off in here with Google.
Yeah. So meanwhile, everybody's devices just went off.
Oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't say the key word.
You didn't say hey.
No, I did not say hey. No, I did not say hey.
But yeah.
I'm not Fat Albert. I would have said hey.
So let me ask you: did you talk about the G Assistant? Did you put it on your? You have the Watch 4, don't you? The
Yes,
Galaxy
but
Watch 4?
I didn't check it today, but I've checked it 2 or 3 times yesterday and the day before. I haven't seen an update for it yet. I keep looking.
It's
Yeah,
in
but
the app.
today
You know that, right? You know it's in the app.
Yes, I'm doing it
okay.
on the watch itself, and I checked it both on the watch and on the phone app. So far, it didn't come through for me,
Really?
which is kind of surprising. But today I didn't have it because today was my Apple Watch day.
Oh, okay.
every
Today
other
was
day.
Apple Day.
Yeah.
Hey, let me
Now,
ask
I
you.
was
Just
just-
out of, good. What's
I
that?
was thinking, as soon as I get the Pixel Watch, I'll be rotating 3 watches. Then,
So tell me, when I messaged you on my Android phone, which phone was that on?
That was on my Flip.
Oh, okay.
Because I like to I put this main SIM card in the Flip on the 3 days a week that I work because it's the easiest phone to slip in and out of my pocket.
Okay.
And I know
See,
you
you
had
got the
said,
silicone case, don't you?
Yes.
You got the silicone
yes.
case.
And I still love doing this. And it's still solid as a rock. But man, I know you were nervous about it in the beginning. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I did it. Today was a day I had some moments at work. I'm like, and I'm still not used to it. I'm afraid of flipping it out of my hands, but I managed to get my thumb to crack it open and give it a quick snap, and got it open to do what I had to do. So,
in all the time I've had it, I've only actually flipped it out of my hand once ever, and it didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, I got that case as I showed in one of my videos, and I like that case. I like what today's video was shot on the Z Flip, using the magnetic mount that's behind on back of it, and you know, it's just for now. I gotta see. You know who I gotta look at his Audi that my Project 13 uses. I got to see about that because that seems pretty solid.
Yeah, and every once in a while I'll say to myself, "What is that mount that Anthony uses?"
I know.
Right, but I have the. I've had it for years. I used to use it on the motorcycle. I can't remember the brand now. But anyway, that's in my car, and I leave it on my windshield all the time. So unless we have a really, really hot day, which will make it fall off. Right, it just stays there all the time.
Yeah,
you don't use it as much as you should, really. You know.
Now, and I wasn't trying to toot my horn, but I have to say, putting that phone and doing the video, and I will. Let me ask you, how many times you rewatch a video before posting it and watching it after? Do you watch it a lot just to catch to see anything?
I watch it. I usually watch it only just before I upload. But I usually don't watch afterwards because I don't want to think I have one more view than I actually have. That's just me.
So I watched it again on YouTube, and I was. That's the other thing is I watch it on YouTube to see if YouTube does any changes, and I gave it time to process it, make it HD quality. Because now you get that little flashing thing when it's flashing when it's processing to HD.
Right.
And it finished the process, and that's why I posted that. I'm like, oh wow, it's way that. I mean, it's a magnet. It isn't like a firm grip. It's a magnet, and I'm going on New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, but you were driving up the turnpike, and it seemed great.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, it didn't. You know, if there were any bumps, which there are, it didn't.
Yeah, I've been on that boat at Turnpike. I know.
Okay, you know what I mean. So it's interesting that I like. Oh wow, that thing through the whole video, and I know it's just not even like road shake. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You saw no shaking whatsoever.
Right, right. So I got to figure out. Now I'm talking about it. The only thing I noticed is with the audio, it did pick it up, but Anthony sounds so much clearer when he does that. I don't know if he has a mic on him.
You sounded. I don't think he uses a mic on him. I've never heard him mention it.
His is much clearer. I feel. Yeah.
Okay. On every phone or?
On Anthony's?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's always doing, because he's does most of his vlogs in the car. I'm assuming it's the phone mic, but it can't always sound the same if he's using the phone mics, right?
Now we got everybody. Let's go watch Anthony. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Carol.
Hi, Mom. How you doing? Mom, let you know right now, George already gave us 2 bad pun jokes already, and it's not even an hour.
She's missed the golden goodies. She's probably very grateful. Yeah, I'm making Mike suffer mostly.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much it.
Oh, all right. So,
that's what I've been doing. And Mom, catch the replay because there was breaking news.
That's true. Oh, no,
yeah. Don't do it.
Don't have headphones on when you do.
No.
All right, let's go back to the stories because
what are you up to here?
I'm up to the Motorola Razr 3. Do you want to do it or you want me to do it? I'm kind of excited.
No, I didn't even. Wait a minute. I don't even have the stories here. Hold on. Where? I'm gonna get them. Give me a second.
Now you know what Will does whenever he's on. he doesn't go click on the email of the stories that I sent him. He just goes to my website and pulls it up.
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
There's Twitter. There. Oh.
Carol says,
Okay, I
breaking
got
news. I
Google
miss
9 to 5.
everything. Come on now, guys. You know I'm old, and you got to do this show for me. Carol, you can run that I'm old stuff to Mike, but you can't run it on me because you and I are too close to the same age. I'm not buying it.
I'll have to show you later, Mom. I'll have to show you how, Mom. You can scroll back and never mind. I'll explain to you when I see it, Mom.
Okay.
I know,
Right, so
Mom's still having that problem. I think still with notifications. I gotta look into that.
Oh, she's
too.
still having that issue?
Yeah, but I gotta look. I gotta see. I gotta look into it. Anyway, Motorola Razr 3.
Yeah. So you want to read? You want me to do it?
I'll read it. I'll throw my weight around on this one.
Let me share it first. Give me a second.
Hey, this could be Mom's new phone. Where's the picture of it? Show it to Mom.
Depends on the price. Don, the guy who bought the phones for me down in Oklahoma, he said he's thinking about it too. I said me too. It just depends on the price. Anyway, whenever you're ready.
Mom, George, I couldn't ride that bike. Couldn't ride that bike the way you do. You have to put a gun to my head. True,
but keep something in mind, Carol. I have been exercising this is coming up on my 41st year, and I've been doing the bicycle thing for more than 10 miles for
what, 18 miles?
5 years now. Yeah, I went to 20 miles 3 years ago. Found that my legs didn't like me doing 20 miles 3 times a week, so I cut back to 17 and 18, and then I can do that 3 times a week easily. Now, tomorrow I won't ride the bike because I'll be cutting the back grass at Eleanor's house. And when I cut
that's
it's
exercise
so big
right there.
and so steep, yeah. By the time I finished that, my legs thought I was on the bike. That's how the workout is. So,
yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready. This is on 9 to 5 Google, folks. I'm kind of excited about this one. Go ahead.
Okay, Motorola Razr 3 leaks show off the revamped design with outer display and some kind of video. Yep. So, Mom, if you're here, this is a folding phone. So let me just let you know. Do they show it? Oh, they got the video.
Yeah, I'll show you the video down lower because it's
don't get in trouble though.
No, I won't get in trouble. No, it's just seconds. There's no sound to it anyway.
Okay. Motorola has made it clear that the third Razr foldable is on its way, and slowly we're learning more about the device. Today, a fresh leak from the Motorola Razr 3 is giving us further insight into what the revamped foldable will look like, especially when it comes to the display. Evan Blass, which is a very known leaker, and I don't mean like he goes wee wee in his pants, posted a brief clip of Maven, the device, which will likely be marked under the name Motorola Razr 3 or something along those lines. Regardless of what it's called, it's clear that Motorola is giving the product a full redesign inside and out. The clip, we can see the Razr 3 with the inner display turned on with the bezels all the way around and a very minimal crease. The hinge mechanism appears to be similar to the Razr phones of the past, similar past Razr phones. And now there's a hole punch cut out for a selfie camera instead of the notch that the Motorola past 2 miles settled with. On the outside, the foldable has a new off-center camera module that has 2 cameras within it, just like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. Above that is an outer display that, like the past Razr models, cover up a considerable portion of the outer shell. There is not much to get. Nothing. Yeah, there's not much to be gathered from that brief glimpse. But it seems things are largely in line with the Razr 5G from a software perspective. Earlier this week, Motorola essentially confirmed that this is the upcoming device with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, and the company previous teased that it would be premium device in the way that the older models were not. Still unclear when Motorola plans to release the new foldable.
And see, it's going to be a premium device that the previous were not, which is why I'm kind of worried about the price. I mean, if I can afford it, and I plan on getting the iPhone 14 Pro Max this thing, because I skipped the iPhone this year, then things are going to depend on price. And I'm going to get the Pixel Watch. So there's going to be things. Here's the video. I'm going to show it real quick. It's it just shows it opening and closing. Okay. Obviously, it has a side.
Two cameras. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that display.
I didn't mean to do that. Wait a minute. Okay. But it's got a slide fingerprint, so that's all it is. So anyway, so I'm kind of excited about it, but it's going to depend because I'm committed to getting the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm committed to getting the Pixel Watch, and I'm committed to getting the Pixel earbuds, which I've never had Pixel earbuds. So
you never had the Pixel ones of any of them?
No, never bought any of them before. I am so in love with my Samsung buds, especially the Buds 2, that had to be pretty special for me to say I don't even use my original AirPods anymore because I'm so in love with my Samsung AirPods.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm okay with them. They've gotten better, but the Pixel A buds were spot on at least for fit alone. Where the buds, whatever, the ones that what are those called? The ones you got? I got them too. We got them probably because of buying the flip phone. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
your mother's making some notes here. She said, "New phone. I just got used to this one." And then she said to me, "Oh my God, George, I bow to you. I get excited when I get out of my lounge chair." Well, see, it's easier for me because I started when I was 36 years old.
Well, my mom started a little later, but she's done a fabulous job of losing quite a bit of weight. Let me just tell you right now. And she's
still able to go out and do all her singing and do everything with the women's group. I think that's awesome.
She's doing all. Yeah, she's not stopping. She is upset when the car breaks down.
Okay.
And she can't get around. And
well, you're the car fixer guy. Come on, Mike.
No, I'm the computer fixer guy. I used to do cars.
Well, you used to be the car.
Yeah, I used to do cars. All she comes to me is, what should she do, and I'll advise her. That's what I do.
Okay.
But no. Luckily though, Mom getting the car fixed. To talk about it is the guy's just around the block, and I have to say they're hard to find. But this guy, I feel really good about him working on my mom's car to the point where I need something major done. I would consider
going to him.
Yeah, that's how much.
It's a great feeling when you find the right mechanic. That's for sure.
Yes. Yep. So, but all right. But yeah. So you're going to skip. You're going to skip this, and let's talk about Motorola here. And all of a sudden now they decided to go put some horsepower and a little bit of support behind their phone, like that new
the
Edge
thing for
Plus.
me is the key point for me is I do not want to skip this one. I've never gotten a Motorola Razr before either, but this one looks like they're stepping it up. But if they're stepping it up, I'm worried about the price. But I've seen a couple of other articles mention because the Z Flip came down in price. I would think if they want to compete, they're going to have to come down in price too. Now, if they make
can't come out. They can't. They can't
go
come out like they did
$1,400
before.
anymore.
No.
So
No.
to me, if they come out 1,200 or less, I'm probably going to get that phone.
Mm,
Now, I was going to get the Flip 4. I'm not going to get both, but if I get the Razor, I'll keep my Z Flip. You know.
mm.
So
The only
anyway,
thing
I'm kind of excited about it.
yeah, yeah, I'm looking for a deal still for a OnePlus device. This way, I feel that that's the complete set. If you know what I mean,
See,
because
I've
then I
lost
get.
it completely. Totally lost.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I want to know, software wise, what they're going to do, what they're going to do with these phones as far as software and what the, you have, I got my iPhone, I got my Pixel, I have a Samsung, I have two. Actually, I have three. I got three Samsung phones. I got another one I have to tell you about later.
Yeah, I had
but I got too many.
Too.
Yeah, but I want.
Well, I'll end
to
up giving one of these to Eleanor as soon as I buy the next one, whatever that's going to be. But I see the OnePlus. No, but if I do get another phone outside of the phones I'm talking about, it'll probably be a nothing phone. That's my guess.
Yeah.
If I can
That's going to
afford
be
that.
interesting to see what comes out of it. Mom's saying.
Good night, Carol. Glad you were here. Glad you interacted with us. If you do listen later, when I play that breaking news, it's loud. So be ready.
So see where her motto is, George. See her motto just above it.
Yeah. I
keep moving.
That. Yeah.
Keep moving. Yep.
Keep moving, though they're disapproving. Keep them doggies moving, right.
Yeah.
You inspired
I just all of a sudden saw the Blues Brothers. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to give you a little piece of trivia that the vast majority of people that I've ever talked to who watched Rawhide, who watched that show and know that song, or they think they know that song. Do you know that the lyrics in the beginning of Rawhide, and they sung the song again at the end of Rawhide, totally different lyrics? Did you ever know that?
No, I did not know that. No.
Okay. Well, I won't give you all the lyrics, but in the beginning of the show, it starts keep rolling, though the streams are swollen. At the end of the show, it's keep moving, though they're disapproving, and it just goes on from there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But they sing that. Don't they sing that in? Or did the Blues Brothers?
The Blues Brothers, they sang. Yeah, the Blues Brothers, they sang the opening one, not the ending one. Most people don't even know there is two. But because I'm the singer, I learned that years ago, and I never forgot it. Yeah, and Brian is saying nothing phone is the new OnePlus. Two reasons I'm considering it, Brian. One, I'm more of a fan of Carl Pei than Pete Lau. That's number one. And even though I think he's kind of overhyping this. And number two, I just kind of got over the OnePlus, and I figured the nothing phone, at the very least, the first one is going to be kind of a collector's item. So I'm thinking that's a good thing to have. So those are my reasons.
I'm typing right now. What other carrier carries OnePlus devices?
Well, T-Mobile, of course.
Other than T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Other than T-Mobile, are they in Verizon? They're not in AT&T, right?
Yeah, no, not that I know of. I don't know if they're in Verizon. I've never had a Verizon phone. No, I can't take it. I haven't had a Verizon phone since the 90s. To me, Verizon is by far the greediest of the bunch and always has been. I'll probably never have a Verizon phone. And I love my T-Mobile, which you well know I have 3 lines,
Let's see, OnePlus on T-Mobile. So, let's see.
Are you finding it?
Yeah. Wow. They got this. That's nuts. How could you? Okay. They have 1, 2, 3.
You need to explain to the people what you're seeing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking. We got to talk about OnePlus and their lack of influence, should we say?
Okay.
So I'm at the T-Mobile site, and they have the audacity. I'll say again, big word, audacity to sell the OnePlus 8 at $599.99.
Still?
Still full price.
That
That is
audacious.
just the
That
word
is very
audacity come.
audacious.
Yeah. So I'm looking here. They have the 10 Pro 5G, get $450 off with the trade. You can get the N200 5G free when you trade in an eligible device. The Nord 20 5G, and you get one free, but Lord knows what that takes. And this is what This is you're talking about. You're talking about greedy.
Phones?
I'm sorry.
Have you tried any of the Nord phones?
I had the Nord 10 N10, and I liked that phone, and it broke my heart to have to sell it because the thing that was driving me crazy and I could not get it figured out or fixed was when there was a call coming in. It would ring, it would vibrate, but it would not display. It would not display who's calling you.
Really?
You would have to, yes, you would have to, I forget, it was weird how I had to answer the phone. And that was all over an update that came down. And the people I read on the forums, on the OnePlus forums and all, it was a really nice phone. I liked it a lot. But I just could not take that. I needed a phone when there's a call coming in, the actual button to either reject or answer the phone, that wasn't coming up. Yeah, it had it was out there. It was out there, some kind of bug that was out there, and I couldn't get anybody to tell me how to potentially fix it until the final fix money came in the software.
Oh, wait a minute, you passed that on to somebody else in that condition?
Oops. Yeah. Well. No. Yeah. I cleared it out, so maybe the reset fixed it. I don't know. It just.
Did you at least make them aware of the problem?
Anyway, so how's the weather in Tennessee today?
All right, I'll shut up. Sorry.
No, it's just that was my bad in a way, because now I'm sitting here talking to you about it. I'm like going, I never did a factory reset on it, and that could have cleared it up.
I would have thought you would have automatically done that. Knowing
I did a factory reset on the Flip because I never did it when I was on the beta, on the Samsung beta to try Android 12 out, and it rolled into Android 12, and then that quirky thing was getting, as time went on, as I got into time wise having it seemed like it was getting a little sluggish, a little wonky in the touch when you hit an icon. But the biggest thing I was having a problem with is your media when you're listening to music, you get your little player that you can pause and it wasn't showing up. You could not get it to show up until you went into the app of whatever you're listening to. So if I'm listening to XM or I have YouTube Music, you had to go into the app to operate it. And I had a watch that I could do the same thing, but it wasn't like having it on the phone. And I said, okay. And it was so frustrating because I had the phone all set up. I think that's the thing that I get this little weird phobia, like, man, I got this phone set up to everything I want on it, and then you got to wipe it out and start all over again. Nah,
that's tough. I know it. That's always
it is, and that's what happened with that too. Probably, I don't know. It was just one of those things. I sold it and forget what I went on to. Maybe that's when I started with the S10. I think I might have been when I went on to the S10 as a work phone.
So you replaced a lower N10 with an upper N10.
There we go. Yeah. I went from an N10 to an S10. So if you think about the alphabet, I'm further up the alphabet. That's true.
Now I have to think. Did it make you nervous? Did it make you tense? Oh. You keep giving me openings. I just jump right through them.
Yeah, you did. Yep. Yep. You did.
Well,
let's see.
and you still have your Pixel, right?
Wow, they got that again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Us.
This
So my point being that we
this is
both still have phones with Tensor in them. Ooh. I'm
George.
having a good time now. All right, I can stop for a minute, I think.
I'm telling. Let's see. George, you got
You're
nobody
still
watching
looking
the
at
show now.
T-Mobile, right?
I'm telling.
You're still on T-Mobile, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm laughing because my son and his wife went to his wife's grandparents and my daughter-in-law's grandparents in North Carolina, and he wait, listen, you got to be kidding. Eleanor's comment.
Well, Elmo's the one that always told people when I make puns, don't laugh, you'll only encourage him. And that's true.
Anyway, my son's in there, and I don't think he likes T-Mobile right now because he's down in North Carolina, and he has like almost no reception.
Well, I
Meanwhile,
remember every time you've gone down to visit your friends, you had the same issue with T-Mobile,
yeah.
right?
So thank God my daughter-in-law has Visible, and
Right.
I called her up, and I called her up, and I say, hey. Just making sure you get my phone call, and she goes, "Is everything all right? The cat's okay?" Because I'm watching the house, the cats. She was worried about the cats, but I said, "Chelsea, it's okay. That I
We
just
all
want to
have
make sure
our
I'm getting."
priorities.
But it was crystal clear. Picked it up like no problem. So
Yeah.
my son ain't going to.
Now is this now? I know
happy.
when you go down to North Carolina, correct me if I'm wrong. It's on your friends are in the Outer Banks, right?
South of the Outer Banks, Atlantic Beach, to be exact.
Okay, so
If anybody knows.
is your son's wife's grandparents in the same area or a different part of North Carolina?
I think I heard Winston. They're in the
Winston-Salem.
more, yeah. Is that like
Winston-Salem,
more
okay.
interior, isn't it?
I think it's on the coast.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Nah, I don't think it's Winston's on the coast. I don't. Let me see.
But see,
You know what?
being here where I am in Tennessee, when we go to North Carolina, we're on the extreme west. We go right into Murphy, North Carolina.
Let me message him. I'm curious.
Well, now you got me looking it up on maps because I don't have a choice. Let me see, Winston-Salem.
We are talking about you.
You're right. It is inland. It's quite a bit inland.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the middle of the state. Yeah, it's kind of right in the middle of the state. Yeah, it's a long way from any water, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so
but
that's close to Raleigh, Durham, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying.
Okay.
Raleigh versus Winston.
Sharkfin Tech. Hey, Sharkfin, good to have you here, brother. Shout out to fellow chatters. Yeah.
Hello.
He was on with Lewis. What's his name? Tech for Your Needs. That's where I first saw him. Yeah, he's in his chats. Glad you dropped by. Very, very happy about that. Okay, I've got one story left. Should I go ahead and go with it?
Sure, go ahead. I'm going to be messaging my son to coach him on.
All right, I got one last story, simply because it's kind of interesting for us all, and I think a lot of people, I'm guessing a lot of people would be happy about it. Let me share screen. And this one was on Android Authority again. And Samsung Galaxy S23, S24 to ditch Exynos chips, claims wild report. So let me go into read a view, get rid of some of these ads.
I hate to
interrupt. And I'm going to skip
quick.
the update and go with the original article, then I'll come back to the update.
Okay.
We've read a shaky report last week suggesting that Samsung is working on a Galaxy exclusive chipset for 2025, but it left many questions unanswered. Now, another outlet has echoed this news while also making wild claims of its own. Korea's Naver outlet reports that Samsung will launch a joint task force of roughly 1,000 people in July with the aim of commercializing a Galaxy-only chipset by 2025. It's claimed Samsung has the goal of surpassing Apple Silicon. Well, Samsung always wants to compete with Apple. The outlet further alleges that there won't be in-house processors for Galaxy phones, presumably flagships, launching next year in 2024. For the first time, Samsung Electronics has decided not to release an AP for Galaxy devices in 23 and 24. It was this decision made by top management, boldly and risky for a long-term vision. A Samsung official was quoted as saying, according to Machine Translation. In other words, it sounds like the Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S24 series could only be equipped with Qualcomm Snapdragon processors, which I think some people in Europe might like, while the company readies its own processor for 2025. This would indeed be a risky move, as it means Samsung wouldn't be able to use Exynos SoCs in some models in the event of a chip shortage or unsatisfactory Snapdragon performance. The likes of, and this I didn't know, the likes of the Middle East, Africa, and India have all embraced Snapdragon power in 2022 after years of receiving Exynos models of Samsung flagships, leaving the EU as the only major reason with Exynos. So I didn't know the Middle East and Africa were already off the Exynos. So it seems like they're going to Snapdragon only, at least for a short period of time, would be in line with the company's current trajectory. Neither of these recent reports detail exactly how this Galaxy-only chipset would differ from current Exynos flagship processors. Well, obviously they're starting from scratch, which are effectively exclusive to Samsung phones anyway. Exynos flagship processors found their way into phones from Chinese brand Meizu years ago, while Vivo has adopted the upper mid-range Exynos 1080 in recent years. But we haven't seen in the last few generations of flagship Exynos chipsets in third-party devices, leaving Samsung as the sole Exynos flagship SoC user. So it sounds to me like they're just going to totally go from with a brand new redesign from the bottom up by 2025. And they'll just use Snapdragon. And of course, you know, for all these years, we've all thought Snapdragon was better than Exynos, right?
Yeah.
So
we need a breakup. Personally, we need.
How do you mean a
other
breakup?
Choices? Like it's been Snapdragon for how many years now? And then for a while, that seemed like, well, then we got the Tensor chip,
right,
in the Pixel,
right.
and MediaTek has come out with some
Right.
really
and that's the thing. MediaTek,
chipsets.
I think, is really coming on, and it sounds like I haven't gotten a phone with it yet, but it sounds like they're right on the par with Samsung nowadays with their highest end chip, anyway.
Yeah. So it's just that monopoly or duopoly, as you know, if you want to say that.
Now, what's the word for three? Because now it's not a duopoly; it's Apple and Samsung and Google chip wise.
Yeah. And hopefully they're going to apply some of this
Triopoly?
chip technology to other devices that funny. And then the Nest devices that use in what's the one that has the screen? The Nest Home or Nest Hub.
Home Hub. Yeah, Nest Hub.
Right.
I have the original Nest Hub here.
It has to have an SoC in it. It has to have an SoC for it to work a lot of functions like a smartphone would be. It seems to me it's a glorified smartphone or tablet size.
But it seems to me from the original, I have the original one sitting here, and I think that has to have an SoC, some kind of SoC in it, and I don't know what it is. But, mine has no screen. But the second I walk into the room at night, it says good evening right on the screen. How does it know I'm there? Yes, always.
Really?
Yes. And that's not, that's not a later one. That's the original. And whatever update they did for the last, I'd say year and a half, I come into this room at night. The second I walk in the room, I see right on that screen, good evening. So it knows that I just walked into the room.
Oh, wow. He's in He's outside of Fayetteville. My son. I'm sorry.
So
wow.
Fayette-
Fort Bragg. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He just sent me where I'm at on Google Maps.
So you were way off.
Yeah, I was
Just
way
like
off.
I was way off with Salem too.
But that's yeah. But he's definitely in the interior. You know what I mean? He's not near the coast, but
yeah,
it's still. Man, he hauled butt down because he left at like 7 yesterday and got there at like 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's like me. He's like me. He just keeps going.
Yeah. My grandson was like, I gotta go, Daddy, and just slap him up against a tree. Let it go, son.
One of the best things is when your kids get old enough, or the kids have grown up and moved out, and you don't have to stop for anybody to go to the bathroom anymore. Now, it used to be that I'd have to stop for Eleanor. And of course, on my own, I only stop to go to the bathroom when I have to get gas, period. That's the only time. Well, Eleanor worked her way to that point too. So it got to where I could just go gas tank to gas tank, and I was done. So he's like me. He'll drive 12, 13 hours straight.
Yeah,
Okay,
he did. Well, I mean, we calculated 8 hours. That was you're in trouble now. Look at her comment.
No. I didn't think it was that personal. About how far we go, that's all.
Because I can just know for my son to drive that, like me, I'm my problem is I go, oh, let's stop over here. Let's go over here.
Oh, you want to sightsee.
I'm sightseeing everything. You know, if it looks cool, you know.
And Eleanor's like that too.
I'm bad. I'm bad like that.
But I get such a kick out of the physical act of driving. I always want to keep driving. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And plus, an ideal drive for me is 12 hours. So almost from me to you it's kind of an ideal drive for me because I think it's a 12 and a half hour drive from me to you. You know.
My
Okay, Eleanor.
So yeah,
this is where I said, Eleanor, don't get pissed off.
Oh boy, no more dinners. No more dinners now. You're done.
I said yes. She said she's like you. See, she's saying the same thing, and she does. She likes to sightsee too.
Yeah, you
the
know.
Problem is, if you're with me, I want to keep driving all the time.
I'm telling you, my problem is it's either something interesting and off the beat. Or it's something with food or both. Okay, that's my problem.
One of the most interesting times for me that Eleanor and I stopped when the kids were living in Wyoming. This was in 2012, so this was 10 years ago. So we had driven out to Cheyenne to Wyoming, and very good, Eleanor. She said, "Better pissed off than pissed on," and she's right about that. Well, we were coming back from Cheyenne back to Chattanooga, and we saw this sign on the highway that said Pony Express Outpost. And I just had to stop in this little town and see this little Pony Express building. And we walked in and looked around, and they had all kinds of stuff about the Pony. It was fascinating. So I probably should do that more, you know.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff traveling this great nation of ours.
Yeah, this was in Nebraska.
Okay.
Nebraska.
That's cool. That's cool. And you could ask Pat. I never take the same way twice, so I might go one way, and then I find another way to get back. That's not too outlandish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I drive her crazy. She'll go, "This don't look the same." I go, "No, we went a different way." Yeah.
Now, is she good with directions or not?
No.
Okay, because Eleanor's not either.
No, I'm the map quest.
Okay.
So,
I'm very good with directions, but I just take. Hey, my attitude is always, I got a phone. I can go anywhere I want to go. You know. She said when she's talking about when we stopped. She said that's true. No, there were three things. We saw that Pony Express place. There were cornfields galore, and there were oil pumps all along that highway, all the way through Nebraska.
You mind me asking, what are you doing in Nebraska?
We were coming back from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh,
When the kids
wow.
lived there, yeah.
Oh,
And now they're back
wow.
living in Wyoming until they build another house in Colorado.
Wow.
That's when they were still when he was still in the Air Force. But since they both retired, they're not there because the Air Force base was in Cheyenne where he was stationed.
Wow. That must have been a heck of a drive. That must have been a neat drive to see.
Oh, I loved it. Now, when we left Cheyenne, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We were planning to stay somewhere overnight outside St. Louis, but we got to a certain point. Maybe we got to a rest area. I don't remember where. And Eleanor said, I'm a little homesick. And so I decided I would just go straight through. So I slept twice in rest areas, about 15 to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We left at 8 o'clock in the morning and we got home at 8 o'clock the next morning. That was one of my great drives of all time. That's the kind of driving I like to do.
Wow. Wow.
Because if you give me 15 to 20 minutes, I can always go another 4 or 5 hours easily.
Wow. That's cool.
She said,
That's cool.
yes, was Mike. Yes, it was. Eleanor doesn't like long drives, and I'm the complete. When we went to Niagara Falls, 7 or 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Google and it said 13 hours. Well, we got home 13 hours later because I generally don't speed. I'll drive 5 over. That's as fast as I'm going.
Okay.
So if it says 13 hours, I'm going to be there in 13 hours.
Yeah, well, that's what they base it on too. That's what they base it on. So
right.
So that's cool. That's cool. So how long
I
is it
will
going to take
be
you to get?
enjoying my drive to you in 2 weeks, of course.
I was going to say, yeah, I was going to ask you how many hours is it going to take you?
I think it's 12 and a half.
Okay. Okay.
Now, of course, the shortest way for me to go is to come around and through Washington.
Mm-hmm. Around Washington.
That's the part I worry about.
It's always unpredictable.
Well, when I came to you last time, it was no hold up there, but
well,
DC,
it is June.
You have to be nervous about it.
Yeah, it's just depends on what part of the day you're going around it.
Exactly. Yeah.
My friends and I agree. I think I've done the same. If I have to go around Washington, if I'm doing the trip, I leave a certain time of the night, like 2 or 3, 4 a.m.
And I'll be leaving in the morning. I'll probably get to you without holdups. I'll probably get up there to the hotel about 7 at night, something like that. Okay. Now, here's what she's saying. My body is still shaking from that. Yeah, and whenever we take a ride that's more than, say, 4 hours, she says she has the shaking. The motion is still there for a few hours.
Wow, it's like me when I got on my dad's boat and was on there for like 2 hours going. I'm just picking 2 hours, and I got off the boat and all of a sudden I'm still doing this.
Oh,
I'm
really?
still with the rocking of the boat.
Did you get seasick? I used to get seasick as a kid. My father used to take me deep sea fishing all the time.
Nah, I can maybe count on one hand the times I gotten seasick. No, just the sensation of this. I didn't have great sea legs, so I usually try to keep my butt in the chair, if you know what I mean. But
so I only got seasick on the ocean, not any place else. But I remembered as a kid, I got seasick on the ocean.
Yeah, we used to go fishing out the bay here, so.
Hey, it's close to 10 o'clock. As usual, you've made it great. I'm going to pull up. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to pull up glowing rectangles because Ted would never forgive me if I didn't bring up glowing rectangles. So I'm going to share screen. And just in case anybody who's watching who doesn't know about glowing rectangles is a place to talk about all the best toys. It's a place to get exposure. If you do videos, if you write blogs, and if your friends, anybody you want, you can post it here. They'll get more exposure. This was started by some gadget guy, Juan Bagnell, and it's on reddit.com / oh, wait, let me take my brand stuff out of the way. Okay, it's on reddit.com / glowing rectangles. If you go there every day, there's new posts. If you click top, you can see that you can upvote and downvote. I don't know anybody who downvotes. But every day when you click top, you see what got the most votes for the day. So this one for the Sony Xperia 4 has gotten the most upvotes today. This guy is very good with camera
Yeah,
comparisons.
he is.
By the
He
way,
has a very interesting way he does his videos.
right.
Original.
So when you click top and you get the most upvoted, the second one is always a commercial. So then you'll see Juan's own. Oh, now see, I clicked top, and this one got 4 upvotes, and it came to the top. But it looks like Juan has 6 upvotes. So I don't know why that isn't up top. But he said a OnePlus 10 Pro is good, but if nothing special, it's making me glad I
it's that
passed on
YouTube
it.
algorithm. It's that YouTube algorithm messing him up, you know?
No, normally the right number is on top. It's the first time I seen when it wasn't. Anyway, so if you guys want exposure for yourself or somebody else, either a video or a blog, you can put it on reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles, and you'll get a little more exposure. Sure. We always end the show letting you folks know about that. So we've run almost at 10 o'clock. See, as long as I have you and or Will or Ted, we can do a proper good show. And of course, you make it much more interesting. So I'm glad you came on tonight. And,
I'm glad I had the opportunity. Today was relatively getting chilled, and I'm like going, I'm going to be able to make it tonight. I'm going to be able
absolutely.
to, so.
Now keep in mind, folks.
Go ahead.
I'll be here next Friday. I'll be starting it. Hopefully, Mike, Will, Ted, whoever will join. But 2 weeks from tonight, we'll all be on. Mike, Will, Mike's brother Adam, myself, will all be together broadcasting from the same place. So
I'm going to be working on ideas. One of the things I'm going to be working on is ideas or thoughts on the show.
That's cool.
And I'm planning on getting with Adam hopefully next weekend sometime. I have Mondays off in June.
Okay.
So if I have to do it on a Monday night or a Sunday night or something like that, I don't have to have work will be hanging.
You don't have it hanging
out
the next day.
Yeah. You know, my brother has sometimes he works from home. He does a lot more working from home. Okay. So he frees him up too. Yeah, the 10th, right?
The 10th.
Right,
yep, the 10th.
The 10th is the big day. We'll be on my channel, simply Your Device, Joker Tech, however you want to call it. And well, you know, that's pretty much it. Anything else you got, George?
Everybody have a good weekend. Brian is saying mark the calendars for the 10th of June. 2 weeks from tonight. So, thank you, Brian. All right, so I hope everybody has a very blessed 3-day weekend, and you go out and enjoy yourself. We had rain this morning.
Share this video and retweet it or whatever you got to do, okay?
Absolutely. Give it a thumbs up. And we've got good weather all weekend long, so I'll be mowing grass tomorrow and riding bicycles Sunday and Monday. You can count on it. And motorcycle somewhere in there, too. So I try to get on my motorcycle at least once a week. All right, everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, Brian, and we will see you next week.
See you guys.